IVC, Dale Gatefield 33 back with another video. This is going to be a finds video of stuff I've picked up in the last week. So yeah, and there will be some record store day finds here. I know I'm a bit late to the party on that and everyone's done their record store day videos, but hey ho. So we'll start last Saturday, record store day, and I had my list and off I went fairly early in the morning, but this was a list of things that I wanted from the Andover Record Fair, not record store day itself. So yeah, so Saturday 12th of April I went to a record fair, as I said, in Andover. And the reason I went there, because I've been trying to limit my record fair excursions, is because for the same reason I've been to the last two record fairs, which is Richard Warwick put a video up of some auction lots that he won, and he showed the records, and there were a few things in there that I wanted, so I messaged him, asked him to put them by, and he said he was going to be at Andover. So I went over there really for that sole reason, to look at those records and see if I was going to buy them. and that's what I did, and that's what I've done. Say the last two record fairs, I've only pretty much, apart from one record, I think everything I bought has been from Richard, and this was no different. Everything I bought today, or sorry, everything I bought on the 12th of April at that record fair was from Richard. So what did I pick up? I picked up the this Ultravox album, the early Ultravox album. I said, I think in my last video when I got some early Simple Minds, that I was also after early Ultravox, and here is some. So this is an original UK release on Island Records, so of the early John Fox era Ultravox. I haven't spun any of these yet because I've also been away, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Another one I wanted was this Fuzz Tones album, Lysergic Emanations. Again, this is in the shrink. I need to get the shrink off, but it's been on there a long time and it's quite stuck to the cover, so I'm thinking about how I might do that, because I don't keep my records in the shrink, but I don't want to damage the cover if it's kind of welded to the cover. But yeah, again, a nice original UK press of the Fuzz Tones. Next up, another UK press. This is a first press of Magazine's Real Life, an album that I've had on the Virgin label. I've had before, got rid of. It wasn't part of the big purge or the big cull, but I did have it and got rid of it. And then after with a number of punk, post-punk, new wave albums, the last 2 years when I've been getting a lot of 7-inch singles and I've been getting back into bands that previously, when I've just had their albums, I've not really gotten into, which means I'm now kind of rebuying some albums. But yeah, so this these are all in great condition. I haven't played them yet. I've had a chance, but they all looked in nice condition. Fourth on my list of things that I wanted to have a look at was this, again, first UK press of Kraftwerk's Computer World. So yeah, so they're the four that are on my list, but there are a few others in the records that Richard showed. So I had a quick dig through the box, and this was here in the box. So I also picked this up as well, because it was one that I was thinking, actually, I quite fancy to get the First Members album, another UK. So a lot of UK first press debut albums there. So that was what I picked up. Richard did me a good deal on those records, and then also, as is his wont, gave me a freebie. This is Susie and the Banshees 12-inch. So in January I bought 7 12-inch singles, Susie and the Banshees singles in immaculate condition from Richard, and he had 8 at the time, but I put one back. This one wasn't an essential. This is Wheels on Fire. So from Susie's Banshees covers album, this is a cover version of Brian Org, Julie Driscoll and the Trinity song, but Richard was kind enough to say that the record needs to be with its seven siblings, so he gave it to me to put with them. So thank you for that, Richard. I will obviously listen to it and put it with the other Susie and the Banshees 12-inch singles. So that was Saturday, done. I did go to the boot sale on Sunday morning, but I'll show the boot sale stuff another time. So Sunday was my wife's birthday, and we were going away to Kent for a few days. I've been off this week. So so after I got back from the boot sale, I had breakfast, packed up the car, went off to Canterbury, as we normally do when we're kind of going somewhere in the UK. We'll stop halfway at a National Trust place for some lunch and a wander. So we went to Chartwell, Winston Churchill's family home, had a look around, had some lunch, and then continued on to where we were staying near Canterbury. And so got there, bought some provisions, had some dinner. And then the next day was a nice day. On Monday, we went to Whitstable again, had a walk around Whitstable, did a walk, and then had some lunch, a couple of oysters and some fish and chips by the sea, which was nice, at a kind of shack restaurant type place. And then my wife wanted to wander. Whitstable's got a lot of kind of small independent shops, so my wife fancied having a wander there once we'd had our lunch. So I noticed that they had a couple of record shops, so I went to have a look at those. Quick browse. First one was Rock Bottom Records, used record shop. It was there on a Monday, so it didn't have really much. It had a lot of kind of fairly common stuff, nothing really rare or interesting to me. So yes, unfortunately I wasn't able to find anything there, but it looked a nice kind of small independent used record shop. I'm sure it does have good stock. Just didn't have any for me that day. And then I went to the other record shop, Gatefield Sounds, and I didn't realise this record shop only stocked new records. So I kind of walked in, saw they only had new, said to the guy behind the counter, "Oh, do you only sell new records?" Yeah. And I was about to turn on my heel and walk out again because I wasn't in the market for new records, so I was after used. However, I could just kind of pause and said, "Oh, did you do record store day?" And he said, "Oh yeah, we got the stocks there on those shelves." And he said, "Why? What were you after?" And well, to be honest, this year's record store day list didn't really enthuse me at all, to be honest. And I could quite easily have got nothing, but having gone through it 3 or 4 times, there were 3 titles that I sort of wanted, and I was intending to just try my luck on the Monday evening when the shops put their surplus stock on, as I did last year and probably the year before maybe, and just see if they come up. If they didn't, so what? But anyway, I said, "Oh yeah, I was after this one, and this one," and he said, "Oh, I've got all of them." So I thought, "Oh, so fine." So yeah, so I got all 3 records on my list on Monday lunchtime from a record store day shop. Looked like he'd bought lots and lots of stock, because I did say, "Oh, you saved me getting online and scouring and buying stuff online." And he said, "And you saved me having to pack 3 records." He said, "It's our biggest online day of the year, is the Monday after record store day. So when he does his most online sales of the year. So he must buy a lot of stock, not just to sell on the day, but also to sell online on the Monday." Anyway, what did I get? So the 3, none of these were really essential. I was probably just desperate to buy something, and these ones came out. So So first up is this EP. So Isabel Campbell and Mark Lanigan, Keep Me in Mind, Sweetheart. Didn't really need to buy this because I've got it on CD. I bought the CD when it came out. This is the first time on vinyl. So yeah, so I like the EP, like the music. So yeah, thought I'd pick it up on vinyl as well. And it's first time on vinyl, so it's not just a kind of random reissue. Next up is a comp. So it's Wire and 9/7. So this is 9/7 singles put on the double album, recorded between 1977 and 1980. So 9 of Wire's singles, A-sides and B-sides, on a double album. They did put it out on a previous record store day as 9 7-inch singles in a box, which I probably would have preferred, but I imagine that would have been a lot more. So yeah, so say this gives me 9 Wire 7-inch, early Wire 7-inch singles, say on an album. I'm not sure that I will find those singles easily if I start to look for them as singles. And then the final thing that I was after is this, which has no writing on it, is another double album. This is the Coral and B-sides volume 1. So this is a collection of Coral B-sides. So those of you who followed my channel know that I'm a big fan of the band The Coral. So yeah, so definitely wanted to pick this up. I think it had been released on a CDR or something previously. And to be honest, I probably would have preferred it on CD, but looks like it's a vinyl only release, official release for now. So yeah, happy to pick that up. It's got picture inner sleeves as well. So I haven't played any of these records. Looking forward to playing those. So anyway, that was Whitstable. We then popped into Canterbury in the afternoon, but we did a kind of tour, our own walking tour of Canterbury. Went back, had some dinner, but my wife said the next day on the Tuesday that she wanted to go into Canterbury Cathedral, have a look around Canterbury Cathedral before we headed for home. So so I kind of went in with her, and then it was £19.50 per person to get into Canterbury Cathedral, so nearly £20 to get in. So I thought, do you know what? You're all right. In fact, she said, do you really want to come in to this? And I said, no, not really. I was going to go in just to kind of go in and be with her. But for £20, I thought, do you know what? I'll have a quick wander. You go in there for a couple of hours and I'll have a wander around the 3 record shops in Canterbury. So there are 3, and this was about 10 o'clock in the morning that we'd gone in, had a coffee, and yeah. And there were 3 record shops on the Tuesday. One opened at 10, one opened at 10:30, one opened at 11. So I said, obviously, I'll go to them in that order then. So I went to Vinyl Store Junior, which does a mix of used and new. They're all mixed together, but they have different coloured stickers between if they're new or used, which is helpful because you can get confused. You think, oh great, they've got that, and then you realise, oh no, it's a reissue. So yeah, and they've done record store day, but as I said, I've done my record store day shopping, so I didn't need to bother with that. It didn't have a lot, and what they did have was pretty pricey, some eye-watering, and I'd say that generally across all 5 shops, the prices were pretty high. In some cases, extremely high, and yeah, and I don't know whether it's just because I haven't been shopping in record shops for a while that this is the norm now, or because it's in Canterbury and it's kind of quite a high rent area, perhaps, that they can charge these prices or need to charge these prices for their overheads. But yeah, I was surprised how high they were. My normal barometer for if I'm going to buy a record is, if it's in decent nick, if it's around the difficulty median, I'm okay with that. If it's way above, I start to get a little bit uncomfortable, unless it's something that's so obscure and rare that I kind of have to bite the bullet and decide if I'm going to buy it. But anyway, these were way up. In fact, yeah. So I went to the Vinyl Store Junior. Didn't really have a lot. The next I went to Sounds Records, and they had less. Again, what they had was, I mean, for example, they had a copy of Deep Purple's 24 Karat Purple, which is that's a car boot sale type record to me. A £3-4 record, and they were £25. So that's the sort of prices. So nothing really in there. And then finally, I went to Canterbury Rock, which was a bit of a trek up and out towards the station. And I got there, it's supposed to open at 11. I got there just about 11, no sign of anyone. So I had a walk around the area, came back about 11:15, no sign of anyone. So I had another kind of little walk around. It was about 20 past. I phoned the shop, and the guy answered. He'd just got there. He said he got there by bus, and the bus was delayed. So obviously, fair enough, public transport can't be totally relied upon to the minute. So anyway, I went in and instantly had a sense of deja vu, and I realised that I'd been to Canterbury for work about 10 years ago, and I'd been in that record shop because it was near the station. I was on my way to catch my train home, and after I'd been for a meeting in Canterbury, and so I had some time to kill. So I popped into Canterbury Rock 10 years ago, and I went in there, and it was exactly the same. The new arrivals were in exactly the same place, and the everything about it was exactly the same. The records are obviously different. I think they were. I can't quite remember. But it had a good selection. Prices were, say, high-ish, but quite fair, and he had quite a good selection of stuff. Anyway, I went through, and just bought one record, and this Pete, Sound from the West Coast. You'll hopefully be impressed with me here. One record that was just less than £20. So this record was the price I would have paid to go into Canterbury Cathedral. So I guess I need to decide whether the spiritual enlightenment and peace I would have got from walking around Canterbury Cathedral will be suitably replaced by me spinning this record and having this record in the collection. So this is Magma and Mechanic Destructive Commando. This is a first UK press on A&M. So yes, I said Pete has shown lots of Magma records over the years, and this record as well. So as soon as I saw it, I thought, yeah, I'm having that if it's at a decent price and in reasonable condition. So looking forward to spinning this and finding out what it's all about. So that was that. Then we kind of had some lunch and then came home. Another National Trust on the way back, Sissinghurst Castle, and then got home Tuesday evening. So that's my finds and my little trip away with my wife for her birthday. Okay, VC, cheers, bye.